Welcome to Biography with Plutarch, where we delve into the lives of history's most fascinating figures, seeking to understand the intricacies of their character and the timeless lessons they impart. Today, we embark on a journey through the life of Laozi, the enigmatic founder of Daoism, whose wisdom has transcended centuries and cultures. Born in the 6th century BC in the state of Chu, China, Laozi's early life was marked by mystery and simplicity, laying the groundwork for his profound philosophical contributions. As we step into the world of ancient China, we find ourselves in the picturesque countryside of the Zhou dynasty, where the Yangtze River flows gently through the rolling hills and lush forests. It is here, in the humble village of Li, that Laozi was born around 604 BC to a family of modest means. His father, according to tradition, was a record keeper, responsible for maintaining the official documents and archives of the local government. This role would have required attention to detail, organizational skills, and a deep understanding of the social and cultural context of the time. Laozi's mother, although less is known about her, is said to have been a woman of strong character and spiritual inclination, who played a significant role in shaping her son's early years. Growing up in the village of Li, Laozi would have been surrounded by the sights, sounds, and smells of rural China. He would have spent his childhood playing in the fields, watching the farmers tend to their crops, and listening to the stories of the elderly villagers. The air would have been filled with the scent of incense, burning wood, and fresh earth, while the sound of chanting, laughter, and animals would have provided a constant background hum. As a young boy, Laozi's curiosity and thirst for knowledge would have been piqued by the mysteries of nature, the movements of the stars, and the whispers of the wind. Laozi's education would have begun at a young age, with his parents and local elders teaching him the fundamentals of Confucianism, the dominant philosophy of the time. He would have studied the classic texts, including the I Ching, the Book of Odes, and the Book of History, which would have provided him with a deep understanding of Chinese culture, history, and ethics. Additionally, Laozi's education would have included training in music, poetry, and calligraphy, as well as physical disciplines such as martial arts and meditation. The historical context of Laozi's early years was marked by significant social and cultural change. The Zhou dynasty, which had ruled China for centuries, was beginning to decline, and the country was plagued by war, corruption, and moral decay. The traditional values and institutions that had once held Chinese society together were crumbling, and a sense of disillusionment and disorientation pervaded the air. It was against this backdrop that Laozi's unique philosophy would eventually emerge, offering a radical alternative to the conventional wisdom of his time. His upbringing, education, and family background all contributed to his distinctive perspective on the world, which would eventually find expression in his profound philosophical teachings. The seeds of his later significance were sown in these early years, as he began to question the norms and conventions of his time, seeking a deeper understanding of the human condition and the natural world. As Laozi grew older, his fascination with the natural world and the human condition deepened. He became increasingly disillusioned with the social and moral decay that plagued ancient China, and began to seek answers to fundamental questions about the nature of reality, the balance of opposites, and the path to a harmonious life. It was during this time that he started to develop his unique philosophical perspective, which would eventually coalesce into the teachings of Daoism. One of the pivotal moments in Laozi's life was his encounter with Confucius, the venerable sage who had founded the Confucian tradition. According to legend, Laozi and Confucius met at the court of the Zhou dynasty, where they engaged in a profound discussion about the nature of morality, governance, and the ideal society. While Confucius emphasized the importance of social hierarchy, ritual, and moral rectitude, Laozi advocated for a more spontaneous and natural approach to life, one that allowed individuals to align themselves with the effortless flow of the Tao. This encounter had a profound impact on Laozi's thought, as he began to articulate his own distinctive vision of the world. He started to write down his insights and teachings, which would eventually become the foundation of the Tao Te Ching. As Laozi's philosophy took shape, he attracted a growing circle of disciples and admirers who were drawn to his wisdom, compassion, and humility. They would often gather around him, listening in rapt attention as he shared his teachings on the importance of living in harmony with nature, embracing simplicity, and cultivating a sense of inner balance and clarity. The historical context of Laozi's time was marked by significant upheaval and transformation. The Zhou dynasty was crumbling, and the Warring States period had begun, characterized by intense conflict, social chaos, and moral disintegration. Against this backdrop, Laozi's teachings offered a beacon of hope and guidance as he urged individuals to look beyond the turmoil and confusion of the world and to seek refuge in the timeless wisdom of the Tao. His philosophy, as expressed in the Tao Te Ching, has had a lasting impact on Chinese thought and culture, influencing countless generations of scholars, poets, artists, and spiritual seekers. As Laozi grew older, he became increasingly disillusioned with the social and moral decay that plagued ancient China. Despite the growing popularity of his teachings, he felt that the world was not yet ready to embrace the simplicity and harmony that he advocated for. According to legend, Laozi decided to leave China, seeking a more receptive audience for his message in the Western regions. He set out on a long and arduous journey, traveling through treacherous mountain passes and vast deserts, accompanied by a small group of devoted disciples. One of the most famous stories about Laozi's journey is his encounter with the guardian of the Western Pass, Yin Shi. As Laozi approached the pass, Yin Shi recognized the venerable sage and requested that he write down his teachings before departing. Laozi agreed, and over the course of several days, he dictated the essence of his philosophy to Yin Shi. This text, known as the Tao Te Ching, would become the foundational scripture of Daoism, guiding generations of seekers on their own paths to enlightenment. As Laozi continued his journey, he eventually disappeared from historical records, leaving behind a legacy of mystery and speculation. Some accounts suggest that he traveled to India, where he met with the Buddha and shared his teachings with the Indian sage. Despite the uncertainty surrounding Laozi's final years, his impact on Chinese history and culture is undeniable. The spread of Daoism throughout China was facilitated by his disciples and followers, who established monasteries, temples, and communities dedicated to the practice of his teachings. The philosophy of Laozi has influenced countless aspects of Chinese life, from art and literature to medicine and governance. In a world marked by complexity and chaos, the philosophy of Laozi offers a powerful antidote, inviting us to slow down, look within, and align ourselves with the effortless flow of the Tao. His legacy is a testament to the power of wisdom, compassion, and humility, inspiring us to embark on our own paths of self-discovery and spiritual growth. That's all for today's Biography with Plutarch. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that understanding the lives of remarkable individuals helps us better understand ourselves.